Hey everybody, it's a Legend Actually podcast, and this is Sherry tonight. Happy New Year! Welcome back! Yay, we made it to 2024, y'all, and we're so excited to come back this year. Y'all, this is not our regular night. We're normally on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, but there has been so much buzz in those internet streets. I had to come on tonight. We had to talk about it. In case you guys missed it, last night's season finale on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, child, it was worthy for me to hop on here on an extra night so we can talk about it. Y'all, if you haven't checked it out, do yourself a favor. Go on Bravo. I watch all the franchises. I watch all the Housewives. And I do watch Salt Lake City. It just doesn't seem to be enough days in the week to recap all of the Housewives. But last night, whoo! All right, y'all. I'm not going to make you wait much longer. We're going to get into it. So, the ladies in Salt Lake City are in their girls trip mode as well. Like, remember, I tell you guys, every single franchise, each season they do a girls trip. The ladies of Salt Lake City went to Bermuda. And what was so interesting about Bermuda is this season, season 4, we have a new castmate named Miss Monica Garcia, honey. And she kind of just busted on the scene with a seemingly breath of fresh air. She's new, she's raw. She doesn't have the wealth that the other ladies do on Salt Lake, which kind of makes her interesting. She has a very, I guess, toxic dynamic relationship with her mother, which is also adds a little depth to the character. She kind of busts on the scene, uber honest about her past. She's going through a divorce. She has 4 daughters. She's a single mom at this point, even admits to sleeping with her brother-in-law. Scandalous, right? Child, you have no idea just how scandalous. Anywho, I say that to say that Monica was a good addition to this season. But oh, we didn't know just how good she was. So, last night was the season finale, like I mentioned, right? And they are on their last day in Bermuda, enjoying their girls' day trip, which was a few days. I think the trip lasted over about 4 days. And the ladies that were there was Heather Gay, Whitney Rose, Meredith Marks, Lisa Barlow, and they also, not brand new, but fairly new to the franchise, Angie. I cannot pronounce her last name. It starts with a K, but she is beautiful. They all went to Bermuda, and partially, this was supposed to be Monica's trip. Monica actually has family in Bermuda, and it was also going to be her birthday. So it was going to be dual had it. They were going to celebrate her birthday. She had wanted to show the ladies Bermuda, and she was supposed to be meeting her family there. This is family on her father's side, I believe. Somehow it goes awry. The toxicity with her mom has something to do with the family members no longer being willing to meet with her. And so the actual meeting of Monica's family does not take place. However, lots of shenanigans do. It's the typical thing. You know, you have Whitney and Heather, the cousins that just don't cousin very well all the time. Heather Gay wrote a book called Bad Mormon. As you know, Salt Lake City is a very Mormon city. Utah within itself is very heavy in the Mormon religion. And that is a lot of these ladies' background. Not all, but the majority of them come from the Mormon church. And Heather and Whitney have chosen to leave the Mormon church. Whitney, particularly, who has actually done the official steps to leave. Heather has kind of denounced the religion, but has not officially, I think, removed herself from the rolls, the Book of Mormon, or however that works. But she did write this book. There's a portion in the book that she's dedicated to Whitney, who, like I said, they found out later, I think in season 1 or so. Maybe they knew before, but it came out that they were actually cousins. Anyway, y'all, this is just a little background. I just want to get down to the meat because that's what I want to talk about. So all season, the ladies were kind of trying to get to know Miss Monica. There was also a return to Mary Crosby, though she is not on the trip. She did make a comeback this season, though little lackluster. Mary's kind of one of those characters that, she's kooky, she's interesting, but she just doesn't seem very interested in being a castmate. The ladies just don't seem to do much for her. She seems a little particularly turned off by Whitney. Brings a little comedy, you know, to the show, her little kooky moments, the way that she kind of like basically, um, except for like Meredith. Her and Meredith are cool. I think her and Lisa are okay, but her and Whitney just do not mesh well. And she's very, very bluntly honest, and that comes across as funny yet rude at times. So, yeah, Mary, I don't think she wants to be there. I would see her possibly being a drop-in friend of the show, and maybe that's even just what her role is on this season, but not much of a stir from Mary. Mary doesn't even go to the trip, which is probably for the best. She didn't add much this season. But anyway, I digress, and let's get back on the point. So, the ladies had been enjoying themselves. However, Heather is particularly troubled by something that she's been trying to figure out. Apparently, starting off with Jen Shah, who a lot of you know is now serving a prison sentence. She was a former castmate of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. She is currently serving a prison term because her company scammed elderly people out of millions of dollars. There was embezzlement, pretty serious stuff. Not coming across as a very good person. And to be honest with you, y'all, Jen Shah was not my favorite anyway. I certainly don't wish prison on anyone, but sincerely, if what she was convicted of, she truly did, which it's looking like perhaps she did, yeah, she's right where she needs to be, guys. That was really bad. Maybe later we'll dive deeper into that so that I can give you guys a little more background on Jen Shah. But Jen Shah is important because she was really flamboyant, like really one of the standout characters. And then it comes out, she's very lavish, really exploiting her wealth. Had her Shah squad. Her husband, Coach Shah, was a coach there in Utah. Jen is of, I think she is from, what is her background? It's not Hawaiian, but she's of Asian descent. And her husband is African American. So she did bring that element of diversity to the show. Sadly, though, she ended up not being the best moral character, and essentially currently is serving prison time for her company embezzling and actually scamming and stealing money from elderly people. At any rate, Heather had a hard time trying to figure out the niche behind Monica. There was a lot of things that weren't adding up. And because of what they had been through with Jen had lived a pretty shady life. There's a lot of stuff that she would uncover, and Jen was really nasty. She would always kind of like threaten them if they would expose her or not back her up when she wasn't always the most honest. At any rate, I guess it turns out Monica actually worked with Jen. And so that's also a little background to how she's kind of even semi-introduced to the group. Heather then befriended her under the guise of, hey, we're both single moms of girls. And that's kind of how she kind of got into the group. So in Bermuda, we're going to skip all the fun niceties. They did their little cute trip when they went shopping, moped riding. They, per usual, Whitney and Heather had been falling out, particularly about, Heather's portion in her book about Whitney. Whitney's actually never read the book. However, Heather said that she'd read it verbatim to Whitney. There were certain parts Whitney asked her to edit and take out, which she in fact did. But there would still seemingly be some kind of turmoil with the two of them. Anyway, they squash it. They go on the makeup. Like I said, those cousins don't always be cousining right, but they get it together in that episode. They come back together. So after the ladies do their little outing of shopping and moped riding, Monica tries to do them a solid. They went gift shopping. Heather and Angie left their credit cards back in the room. Monica agreed. No worries, ladies, I got you. First time she swipes a $725 bill. That thing is declined. I told you she didn't have the wealth these other ladies do, but she was trying to front to be around the ladies. No, fake it till you make it, girlfriend. Not my, yeah, no, I'm not mad at you. She pulls out another card. This time it goes through. All good. Um, Maybe a little more of a moment of her trying to get in there. And she was starting to get closer to Whitney and different ones, but you would see her throughout the season kind of stir stuff up, particularly mention things about Angie's husband. There was a rumor that he was gay and slept with a lot of men. Angie's husband actually works in the hairstylist industry. And she would keep talking about, oh, I got a DM from this particular some alleged blog or social media site that was an internet troll that had Instagram page, Twitter, you name it, that was sending out information on Angie's husband being gay, different little rumors coming out, things that came out about Whitney's family, things about Heather and her business and her daughters. Just things about Meredith and her business, things about Lisa, so it was like, they were all kind of like, ugh, who is this person? But as I believe, they were trying to paint it such that it was Meredith. And Meredith even got confronted. And though she didn't give the over exaggerated reaction that Heather was looking for, which made them suspicious of Meredith, that was the narrative that was trying to be put out there, that it was Meredith that was behind these DMs and these actual threats of exposing things or these lies that were coming out. Anywho, child, Miss Heather has started to do her research. Well, in a dramatic way, she gets a phone call after the ladies had gone out on their outing and had come back to the hotel. There's audio that you hear outside of her room where she's on the phone and she gets the information saying, no, I'm shaking, no. And you see the producers try to go in and she shuts them down. It's like, no, get out of here. She's clearly shaken up and really upset. And, it's the dramatic music and it's like, oh my gosh, what's going on? So you then see Heather eventually talk about what she has allegedly found out about a fellow castmate who was behind all of the trolling and the cyberbullying. And she says that it's confirmed from someone that she mutually knows between herself and Monica that it was in fact Monica that was behind it. She starts off by texting the OGs of the season. That would entail Meredith, Lisa, Whitney, to meet her on the beach. She wants to give them the heads up because it's their last night there and they're going to have a dinner. When she drops that T, y'all, the reaction on their faces were shock. You could see hurt. It was so prolific. Guys, this is what Housewives used to be about. It's riveting TV. Nothing since Scandavol on Vanderpump Rules has come out and been so jaw-dropping. Y'all, we didn't see this coming. All right. So she tells the ladies that, in fact, she has proof, screenshots, audio, text messages, proving that Monica was behind this relentless attack on their families, themselves, particularly in the beginning, Jen Shaw. She asks the ladies, she tells the ladies, and then she asks them to back her up because she was going to confront her at the dinner. So the next scene you'll see is the ladies at the dinner. It's outside. They even have the theme of it is the Bermuda Triangle mysteries, because we all know there's been all these um, like mysterious things that happen in the Bermuda Triangle that can't be explained. You know, people go missing and things have happened, and there's a lot of mystique behind the Bermuda Triangle. So this was the theme of the dinner. Well, they start off by playing a game where each woman has a doll that has their name. And so a woman would say, you know, what's your mystery, or what I want you to uncover that I find mysterious about you. So, of course, Heather essentially ends up getting, they set it up where they try to go with Meredith first. Meredith says, you know, look, it's not me. And I think this is to kind of throw Monica off her game a little bit. So Whitney starts with Meredith and then, or with Lisa first, and then they get to Meredith about trying to figure out why, you know, Meredith was so nonchalant when she was actually accused of being the one behind this. She explained that she was past all that, that if you couldn't believe me because I wasn't shouting or yelling, then I don't know what to tell you. Then you see Heather get the doll and say, you know, Meredith, I'm side-eyeing you. However, Miss Monica, I have a question for you. Who is the real Monica? Because she said the Monica I thought I knew was the one that I bonded with of being single moms of girls, going out to dinners, laughing together, you know, getting to know you, you being so real and so truth telling. She's like, but in fact, matter of fact, guys, take a listen.
You are an internet troll. You are a cyber bully. You have been tweeting and undermining and bullying all of us for 4 years.
That was Miss Heather Gay confronting Miss Monica Garcia. Y'all, in the beginning, she denies it. She was like, you're crazy. It's not me. Why would I do that? It's not me. It's not me. Then, in a twist of events, she comes clean. I have a little excerpt, of just how explosive it gets. Take a listen, guys.
How was I involved? Laughing at your stories? These women are ridiculous. Oh my god. I'm so shocked. Reality on Tease. Oh, this is awful. Bitch, don't act like every single one of you wasn't constantly watching and DMing that page like you were our biggest fan. And the shut the up. Talk about me. Why did you on that page? Go pay the IRS. Go pay your IRS. Go throw it. Throw it, you class. You shove it down your head and throw it. That's hilarious. It's not. No, it is, because I'm being completely honest with you. You're not honest. Help.
Child, it got explosive. So, Tanisha, who was the mutual friend, actually did Heather's hair and Monica's hair. Monica goes on to say that, yes, I am behind Reality Von Tease, which is a burner Instagram page. Like I said, there's a presence on Twitter, X, and this person has emails and stuff that they've DM'd, reached out to this cast, and threatened to expose them. Well, Monica says you're partially right, but Reality Von Tease is not just me. It's comprised of, she says, a lot of humans, one of which is their mutual friend Tanisha. Y'all, she says that she initially got involved to take Jen Shaw down. You see footage of her actually, when Meredith Marks' store last season, when someone stole a clutch out of her store, you see Jen Shah and you see Monica behind Jen Shah in the store the day in which that clutch got stolen. When she visited her store this season, you go back and they will show the footage of her saying, "Oh, Meredith, I love your store. I've never been here before." Lies. Now, let's be clear. Monica says that she honestly got involved with this reality Von Tease account to expose Jen Shah. There was audio of Jen. I've heard it where she was cursing out her employees, admitting to some of the scandalous things she had done, really showed her in a horrible light. The fact that even when she was facing these allegations, she was more, or seemed more, compelled to keep worrying about being TikTok famous and to keep her name out there in social media and doing like TikTok videos or voiceovers and just not seeming to sink in. Lady, you're about to do some serious time here. She says her intent was to expose Jen as a terrible person that she perceived Jen Shah to be. Perhaps. Heather goes on to say that this event had caused her to be on high alert because they had all, meaning the original cast members, were truly friends and had been through this kind of stuff with Jen. She said they have lied and covered for her, even to the point, guys, and it finally comes out that all this time it was Jen Shah that gave Heather that black eye. Now, child, I can just honestly tell you, if you go back and look at those episodes of that night, to me it was clear it was Jen. You could see it all over Jen's face, the guilt, the playing off like, yeah, what happened? Might I add here on Alleged actually that this is alleged because Miss Jen Shah actually addresses that straight from the prison cell, child. I don't know where she's doing her time at, that she can hop up on social media and make a statement, but we have it right here for you. Take a look, see. Okay. So she states that if in fact she had hit Heather, the cameras would have caught it, which is in fact not true. Production on Housewives, unlike Below Deck, when those ladies go to bed, they are not to be filming them. So this happened at some point after that night, and this was on a trip that they took, the last season that Jen was on before she ended up getting indicted and actually sentenced. That they had been drinking that night. Something happened between Heather and Jen, and Heather's going to get into that in the reunion. Guys, not only that, then when the show comes back, Monica says there's so much more to it that you guys don't know about this reality Von Tease. And she's going to spill it, y'all, on the reunion. Listen, I have never been more invested. This is what I've been waiting on, child. So yes, it will air next Tuesday. It's a 3-part reunion special. So it'll be 3 different episodes starting next Tuesday. I will be there. I will be back and recap. I wanted to let you guys know, my listeners, that you need to tune in. Now that's some good reality TV, y'all. See, that's what I get excited about. So do yourself a favor, a big one. Go back, check out Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. It aired last night. You can find it on demand. You can find it on Peacock. Do yourself a favor. And then do yourself an even bigger favor. And come on back tomorrow when I recap Married at First Sight, Denver. But y'all, I just had to do it. Thank you, ladies of Salt Lake City. Now that's how you do a finale. All right, guys. Well, that's all I got. It's Sherry from Alleged Actually. Happy New Year again. Thanks for coming back. Tune in tomorrow when I will be recapping Married at First Sight Denver. Good night, y'all.